Let's go and have a look at pitch accuracy because the kids do really well in that regard.
Sound check.
Well, g'day there. Welcome back to another vocal analysis here at Voice Essentials. Today, and I'm trying to remember, is this the second or third Missioned Souls performance that we've reviewed? I must admit, I can't remember. I know I've done at least one. This is their performance of Hysteria. Now, the Muse piece, for those of you playing at home. This is actually, I put this recording, which is from many years ago. They put this up in around about late 23, early 24. But then as I was reviewing it, literally days ago, or it would be about a week ago now, they've uploaded a brand new recording of exactly the same song. So of them doing Hysteria as they are now. You could, and I must admit, I haven't prepped to have a look at it. If you would like me to review the new version of Hysteria, leave your comment below. So this is the one we're going to look at is a much younger presentation of it. The new version, you could not only hear the young musicians are maturing and developing, but you could also hear, so too is, and I believe it's their dad, their father who does all the sound engineering. You could hear his development in capturing their performance. And so I wanted to say to you, I am aware that there's a new version of it. We're not reviewing that version today. I am very cognizant of the fact that it does show a development. We are going back into their archive in many respects and listening to a much earlier version, which I think still has value. We still get to see a group of young people, siblings, just loving their music. And I made this comment definitely in the first review I did. I keep saying, I do so many, different groups of reviews. I can't remember who I've reviewed how many times. But I do remember in the first one, I made comment, I love the joy in their performance. I really love the joy. And given that I'm making comment on young people, then I'm also going to be appropriate in my critique as well, understanding that these are young people developing in their craft, and we want to acknowledge that. And but the first thing to be said is I love the joy. They are loving their music. We need more of that. We really do. Let's dive in and have a listen. It brings me joy to watch them playing, and it's funny, even though they're not playing with big smiles on their faces or anything. I do just get the sense that they're enjoying themselves. Our lead singer is Stacey, and I will make this comment. you can see the air rushing through the balcony there, the patio. Incidentally, I wonder how the neighbours feel about these performances, given the volume. I wonder, and this is the first question I had when I watched this and I analysed it. I wonder how they were able to accommodate wind in the recording. Now, obviously, on the bass guitar, the electric guitars, not a big problem, but for the vocals, yeah, and the kit, where the kit's being externally mic'd, you are going to get a lot of wind noise into those mics. So either Dad has, in engineering it, and this is possibly what he's done, he's engineered it to remove, to do like a spectral removal, noise removal, to get rid of that air. That was the first thing that jumped to mind when I saw the level of air flowing through the space. Really problematic for recording, because you get this, into the mics, and it can also be, it doesn't just come consistently. It ebbs and flows, but somehow they've sought to manage it. What I'm not saying, just so you don't think I'm creating a conspiracy, I'm not suggesting they've pre-recorded or post-recorded, and I'm not saying that. I'm saying they've somehow managed the air live. Now, the other thing I made mention when I listened to the first piece, and many of you didn't take issue with me when I listened to the first recording that I analysed, but I made mention of I love the fact that the vocal, the melodic width, the interval width of the melody was rather contained. That's the same thing here. The voice does not have to travel, over some crazy 3 octaves or anything. This is being relatively contained within 1.5 octaves. So appropriate to the age of the singer. And it's actually really beneficial. Now, many of you said, oh, well, she sings, other stuff. Yeah, that's okay. In this recording, that's what we get to observe. And I think the voice is the better for it. And because it doesn't have to work outside of the constraints of its age, its anatomical age. And that's just very clever. Young Ice on the drums. He loves it. Let's go and have a look at pitch accuracy, because the kids do really well in that regard. Let's jump in here now. To let you know, I'm applying, this is only the second video, the third video actually, as it will go live in sequence. This is the third video where I'm applying an extra level of isolation. Up to this date, when I isolate a vocal, I capture the full recording, I put it through Muses, stem separate it. I was never 100% happy with the stem separation, because it would typically, when it was capturing the vocal, it would still have a lot of the reverb and a lot of the effects connected to it. And so I'm now putting the vocal through an extra layer of isolation using a program called RX12 Advanced. and I'm removing more of in that extra level of isolation, removing more of the reverb and some of the noise to give us access to the raw vocal. It's still not perfect, but we're getting closer. So that's what you're going to hear as we listen to the vocal here.
And it's all in me, more than me, and forcing me to.
So even with that level of isolation, what we're hearing is the vocals have actually been heavily saturated in post. And so when we talk about saturation, it's an effect, if you will. Think of it like a distortion, a vocal, a guitar distortion. We're hearing a saturation of the voice, and when I did that extra layer of isolation, I wasn't able to remove that at all. What we do get to see here on the page, though, is there's no work being done in post as far as pitch accuracy. Stacey, I should say, is wonderfully accurate as a singer, but they're certainly not. Dad's not jumping in and tuning.
And it's all in me, more than me.
And we see that. For example, look at this note here. Look at her. She actually nails a note, and then it drops off and then comes back. Yeah, and this passing through note. If I was to, again, we talk about this as being a very gross way to do it. If I was to adjust that.
And it's all in me, more than me.
So really, it doesn't benefit from the tuning.
And it's all in me, more than me.
So I love the fact that that Dad hasn't gone in after the fact and tuned it up. I think that's great because it actually doesn't need.
And forcing me to strive to be endlessly cold and dreaming I'm alive.
Yeah. So definitely not tuned. Yeah, definitely not tuned. Because it actually doesn't need tuning. Stacey does a beautiful job of the live vocal. Young Ice sits right in the pocket. Now we're smiling. So good. Oh, that's actually Look, this is the new version. I'll just play a bit of the front end of it. I hear just that little bit more clarity in the recording. There's a little bit more distinction between the instruments. Now that can come from the fact that, hey, we're now recording in a far more appropriate space. No wind. I will pause it there because I dare say we're going to find ourselves doing an analysis of this particular performance as per your request. If you want me to, leave your comments below. But there you go. You can hear even the vocals just have a little bit more. Stacey's vocals are just a little bit more mature. They have a little bit more consideration to them than just simply a young person just, singing. There's a little bit more intention going on there. It'll be interesting to make an observation in a more considered way. I hope you've enjoyed today's has been a rather shorter analysis of Mission Souls. They bring me joy as I'm watching them do their music, and when you get bogged down. I've been doing this for 31 years. When you get bogged down in music as a job, as work, it is always so wonderful to be brought back to the joy. And it's more often than not, it's young people that do that. I hope you've enjoyed today's vocal analysis. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.